Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom here from SportsBook Houston Dynamo host the New York Red Bulls on Friday for their interconference matchup. New York Red Bulls are third in the East, but are a sizable point difference from both second and third, so a win is a must if they want to keep up with the points race. Joining us now is sports writer Kevin Stott to preview the match, and do stay tuned for his tips at the end. Now, both teams had a disappointing last two matches, and they'll be looking to turn things around with a win. Can you see a team walking away with the 3 points?
No, that's a good question. This is one of those games that's sort of like hints at a draw from ahead of time. It's hard to pick ties or draws in soccer, but if this was in New York, I'd lean towards the Red Bulls, but it's in Houston. So this is one of those games that I think that it's setting up that it's a good potential to be a draw.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think maybe both teams walking away with that point there. The winner's market does have Houston Dynamo as a favourite, plus 150. Stan James there. The draw is plus 220, Betfred. And New York Red Bulls is plus 170 also with Betfred. Do you think that the odds for the draw there, is that worth a bet?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not for a big amount because draws are gambling, but you get the value. You get it's plus. The one I saw was plus 229 on the draw, so you get the value built into the line. So you obviously have to put less money on it. Teams don't play to try to draw, but in certain games like this, where the better team is on the road against a team that's somewhat anemic scoring, it's a good, like a scientific way to plug in a draw and not force a team that you think should win. So I think that there could be some value here on the draw in this one.
Well, both teams have only scored 1 goal in their last 2 matches played. So what are you predicting in terms of goals in this match? Are you leaning towards maybe a low-scoring affair?
I'm leaning towards the under just because of the amount of travel that New York is going to have to do. They took a flight to New York City, opposite coast of Seattle, went to Seattle, and didn't they tie them yesterday? I think it was 2-2. But so, and then they have to travel to Texas. So you have all that travel involved, which isn't easy. And they're not a bad team. The Red Bulls are in the top 5 teams in the East. The Dynamo is probably in the bottom tier of the teams on the West. So I think that it's just the Dynamo isn't that good at scoring. You're going to factor in the fact that the Red Bulls have all this travel and that they've done all this stuff and that they're not going to want to lose on the road. And how much energy will they have? So I think that, under 2.5 would be the lean in a game like this.
Yeah, well, I have to say the odds for the over and the under 2.5 goals are neck and neck, and that's minus 120 there. But where have you managed to find sort of value? What's the best bet for this match?
This is one of those games that's, to be honest with you, probably just not even betting on. I mean, if you're going to bet on this, take a small chance on the draw, and maybe maybe 50. If you're a $50 better, 50 on the draw, 50 on the under. If you're a $20 better, same thing, 20. And just play them off against each other and hope that it ties 1-1. The only way you can win those 2 bets that I just said is with a 1-1 score. But this is the type of game that could be 1-1 very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be. This is not a high-profile game. This could be a boring game. It's more important to the Red Bulls theoretically because they're in the race. But the season's not even halfway over, so Houston doesn't want to give up. But Natalie, what I've seen out of the Houston Dynamo so far this year, it's nothing to get that psyched about on offense. They have too much trouble scoring. They have too much trouble possession, and they never, they never just dominate on the attack. So I'm not going to back a team like that. A team like that, when they fall behind, you're dead with because they can't come from behind. So the good thing for Houston here in this context of this is that the game is in Houston.
All right, great stuff, Kevin. And if those watching would like a more detailed preview of the match there, Kevin has written an article posted on SportsBookReview.com. The link can be found in the description below this video. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Natalie.